Hello everybody, welcome back to the King of the North Sweden Achievement Run. This is part 2. In the last episode, let's go ahead and fly over what we did. We have declared independence from Denmark and attained 4 of our Swedish cores that we had here in Sweden. We took Jämtland and Holland, or Helland, Skåne, and Blekinge. Sorry, I can't pronounce these names. I'm obviously not Scandinavian, so apologies on that end. So in this episode, we are going to be shifting our allegiances. Of course, to attain independence, we had to do some dirty stuff, like make friends with the dirty Novgorod. We do not like the dirty Novgorod, so we are going to be dissolving our alliance with them relatively soon. This will enable Muscovy to pounce on them. And once Muscovy does indeed pounce on Novgorod, we will pounce second for, sloppy seconds, and we'll vassalize them. Not only that, but I'd also like to take out the Livonian Order and ally Poland in this particular episode. Of course, the alliance with Scotland is practically meaningless. I'm going to be abandoning Scottish alliances in favor of an alliance with England, who will inevitably become Great Britain. So, that being said, we had a little bit of unrest in Lapland in the last episode. We have crushed a rebellion there recently, and now we are about to rebuild, or rather build for the first time, a Swedish army worth talking about. So we are going to need more cavalry. We only have 1 unit of cavalry so far, so we are going to take 3 cavalry for a total of 4 in our army, and we can bump this up to 3 more infantry, so we are going to do so, splitting the recruitment across my empire so we get them even faster. Let's go to national decisions, where we have opted to increase our prestige. That might not be a good idea. I might want to change that, but we will see here in a second if that's even a problem. Let's go over here to the diplomatic advisors, where we can't really see anything interesting. Morale of armies advisor for the military, it's not too great. I'm going to, however, stop the military focus that we've had. And our King of 433 is actually pretty good. We did get a weird last name, though. I think the correct last name starts with an N, but I'm not really quite familiar with Swedish history. Right, so let's go ahead and unpause our game. Of course, we'll take a look at the disputed successions. It might make sense if we marry to Bohemia. It's kind of like a Game of Thrones that we're playing, in that we need to take advantage of the fact that we are... okay, so another rebellion in Lapland, right as we unpause the game. We are going to take advantage of the fact that we are a Western, Christian nation, which means that we can claim other countries. It's really useful. So immediately, let's go check our diplomatic power tab. We have 3 out of 4 already. That's fine. Let's go ahead and stop our support to Poland and shift it over to Bohemia, where we at least hope to get potentially a personal union in the future. We're not really worried about it just yet. They're not going to accept a royal marriage just yet, even though they are disputed, which means that we should probably focus on somebody else. Of course, Poland is... it's a kingdom. Okay, it's not an elective kingdom yet, so that's pretty good. Let's see if we can royal marry them. We can't, because they have a neutral attitude towards us. Well, that's most unfortunate. I guess what we should end up doing is seeing if we have any more claims to fabricate on Novgorod. We do. We are going to go ahead and fabricate on Karelia. We're just going to leave Kola somebody else for the moment. Of course, I believe Livonian base tax is low enough for us to vassalize in 1 turn, so we are also going to focus on them. Let's go ahead and unpause and also work on our naval force limits. We can hire a few more boats. I'm going to opt to hire... well, we're already actually hiring some boats, so that's good. Only 4 boats, though, so we can afford to hire 1 more. Let's go ahead and hire yet another light ship in a province that is available over here. So let's go ahead and unpause. Of course, we are going to destroy the Lapland Revolt, as we always do, putting the Sami down. It's basically a Swedish pastime, and the land of Minecraft and IKEA. Of course, we are the King of the North, so every good Swedish citizen answers directly to me, which is great. Let's go ahead and opt to lose our national defense. That's not prestige, and prestige at this moment is more important. Let's take a moment again to laugh at Denmark, who is in a very bad war themselves against the Hansa, Riga, and Lundberg. And you know what would be silly is if we didn't have a royal marriage with Lithuania, but we do, so that's good. I'm going to be abandoning the Novgorod alliance pretty soon. I hope that they didn't royal marry me with them too. They didn't. It's fantastic. I think it's because they're actually not able to royal marry, considering they are a republic. So not too surprising there. We are starting to lose some money, and that's unfortunate. I think it's about time we sacked one of our advisors. We don't really need him. We would much rather have positive, kind of like cash flow, I guess you could say, money flow. So our end army with our 19 force limit is 15,000 soldiers, 4,000 horsemen. Of course, our soldiers are much more powerful due to our Swedish ideas. I haven't really gotten into these yet, but check them out. Swedish ideas. Off the get-go, we get a mercenary maintenance modifier of negative 25% and an infantry combat ability of plus 20%. That infantry combat ability is incredibly good. I cannot stress it enough. And I mean, just look at this. I mean, we get discipline, yearly legitimacy, manpower recovery, goods, and national manpower. I mean, I think, obviously, since Paradox is from Sweden, there's a little bit of bias going on over here. Not that that's, you know, such a bad thing, it's just that that's a thing that we need to recognize. So that being said, let's go ahead and sack our alliance with Novgorod. But they're also allied with Lithuania. That's going to make things hard. I guess we should stick with them then, and then just decide to expand in the Livonian Order instead. I believe we actually get some military... Yes, because we are allied, we get a movement, our military access, I should say, through Novgorod. So let's go ahead and screw up the Livonian Order. We have claims on just about, well, most of the coastal provinces. I guess we could lay a claim on Revol, just in case if we can't, you know, force vassalize Livonian Order. Let's go ahead and do that right now, while we're thinking about it. I am going to be staying in the previously finished city of Viborg. Of course, in real life, this city was annexed by the Soviet Union after the Winter War, as it was deemed too close to Leningrad, which was this city right here. Although in today's world, or rather in the games world, it is the city of Orshik, and it belongs to Novgorod. So, interesting. We're pumping out some more light ships, which is great. They are going to join the Swedish Navy. Of course, it would be nice if we had naval preeminence in the Baltic Sea. That is why we are pumping out so many ships. And we're going to reach our naval force limit here pretty soon, which isn't too much of a problem. Like I said, while we wait, we can always laugh at Denmark, who is having a hell of a hard time just existing at this point. I certainly hope that Norway sheds their personal union once Denmark inevitably loses. That'd be really nice. So we've advanced in tech, that's great. We are about to crush the Livonian Order. Let's just go ahead and double check to see if they don't have any good alliances. They're allied with the Teutonic Order, Lithuania, and Riga. That's going to be bad news, considering we are allied with Lithuania as well. It might not be worth it to attack at this particular moment in time. Instead, we can opt to attack Riga, as this would allow us, I guess, an easier time into Livonian Order. We can station men over here in Riga. How long does our truce last with Denmark? It lasts until 1465. That's not too bad. So immediately we're going to set about claiming Riga, because we're also going to be at war with the Teutonic Order, and I have an idea. Who's the Livonian Order allied with? They're ordered with Riga. That means if we attacked Riga, we could drag in the Livonian Order. That would be so incredibly nice. Let's go ahead and do that. First of all, we need to fabricate a claim. We can't fabricate a claim. Is it worth no-decking them? We could even get Lithuania in on the violence. That would be fun. But it would give us -2 stability because we do not have a claim. what should we do? We could bring Lithuania into the conflict. That would be make it like really incredibly easy, actually. Let's go ahead and declare war in Riga. Even if we have to sacrifice some admin tech to do it, I think it's worth it and allow us to go to war with the Livonian Order without dragging in Lithuania. Yeah, let's just go ahead and do it. So we are going to have no valid reason to attack them. We will take -20 aggressive expansion towards Denmark, Teutonic Order, Riga. I don't really think it affects Muscovy or Lithuania or anything like that. That's just good. And let's go ahead and get started, shall we? We shall. So, of course, we've lost stability because of what we just did. That's fine. Boost it right back up. We sacrificed 200 admin to do that maneuver. We are going directly now into Riga. I guess we're going to try to go directly into Riga. Let's go over here first. We need to wait before the Livonian Order joins in the conflict. They just did. That's fine. And we can't get there because of zona controls. We have to start conquering Livonian Order first. You don't have to tell me twice. That's totally acceptable. I don't mind doing that. Let's increase our relations with Poland while we are at war. I think that would probably be the best call. That way we can get an alliance after the fact. Let's go ahead and do so. Our treasury is a lot higher now, which is great. And what else do we have here? The Hansa. Are they going to be involved in this war? I think they probably will at some point in time. Let's go now to join our men up to the Northern Baltic Sea, where we've got a conflict between the Livonian Order and Sweden. Who will survive? I don't know. They have a leader, we don't, which is usually the indicator of things like this. But they have transport ships. Dirty, dirty transport ships. Those suck in combat. So they're probably going to get destroyed, even though they have the Admiral and we don't. So here we go, sieging Riva, or Revel, I should say. We're going to split up our forces and lay claim to Leafland as well. Oh, we can't. So that's fine. We don't really need that anyways. We're going to opt instead to take the forts nearby. We have single-handedly won in naval combat. That was super, super easy. We're just going to sit outside of Osel now. Or rather, we could sit outside the Gulf of Riga, but Denmark already has them at 100% blockaded, so we don't really care at this moment. Lithuania is always my buddy. They are currently helping me out in this conflict. Everything is going to plan. And like I said, I think losing administrative power is better than losing Lithuania at this point, because if we were to declare war on Livonian Order directly, they are allied with Riga, and this way, they've lost their ally, and now their ally is attacking them. Isn't that kind of funny how things like this work? I love it. It's perfect. And what could we possibly do here while we kill some time? I guess nothing, so we're just going to have to wait. I could, of course, actually send my men across to the south, this way. Might be worth it. Let's go ahead and do that. Might as well. We will be locked out until we take some more forts, but that's okay. We can wait. We do, of course, have 0 manpower, though, which makes me a little bit nervous. We are losing quite a bit of attrition in the winter provinces, as winter is really, really bad in the north. Take a look at it. Winter. Normal winter, which is, you know, still pretty shitty, but I mean, not as bad as severe winter, which is actually what we get in Sweden. Once we declare war on Novgorod and Muscovy, we are going to be using exclusively mercenaries. Well, mostly exclusively, exclusively mercenaries. The reason for this is that it does not drain our manpower, and manpower is a very precious, I guess, parameter that we need to ensure victory in a military sense. Of course, we could probably go about recruiting some more infantry now, but it's not a big deal. We can wait. We are claiming more and more provinces for ourselves, which is fantastic. All we need now is to claim the forts so that Riga will fall. Let's take a look now. Over outside of Revolt, we're doing still pretty well. Livonian Order has been basically annihilated. And Poland has almost at plus 50 relationship, which is fantastic. I apologize for the lag between the autosaves. I'm not using my SSD in this particular Let's Play. That's because... Oh, we can go with quarantine, that's fine. That's because I'm on my new laptop that I got for France. In fact, once this is uploaded to YouTube, I will already be in France. But this actually allows me to play with 60 FPS, which is pretty cool. Of course, the sound quality was so bad that I had to record my audio with Audacity. I'm currently using NVIDIA Shadowplay. It's the first time I've ever used the program because this is the first time I've ever used an NVIDIA video card in the last, I guess, 10 years, the first time in 10 years. I've been a big fan of Radeon, but this laptop came with NVIDIA, and I'm going to try out the proprietary recording program called Shadowplay. That's what I'm using right now. It's pretty nice. Because it works directly through your video card, it doesn't have to, it doesn't suffer the same terrible compression rates and everything else that, like, you know, recording programs like Fraps and DxStory suffer from. Brandenburg might be a reliable ally in the north. You know, we might as well, we need more allies at this point. Why not marry up with Brandenburg as a strong northern presence that could counter Austria will be nice, as we do eventually plan on taking over the Holy Roman Empire for ourselves, which would be fantastic news. Of course, Novgorod's still at peace. We are still going to be a bad ally and fabricate all over that territory. We'll lose. We can't really afford to lose any more legitimacy, so we will opt instead for prestige. In fact, that's why I'm royal marrying so many countries. It's because I need more legitimacy. And for some reason, you know, having lots and lots of children and mistresses and really spreading your genes as far across Europe as you can increases your legitimacy, so that's great. We will keep that in mind. In fact, why don't we just go ahead and royal marry Scotland, even though we don't really want them as a long-term ally. We would much rather have Scotland as an ally, but once our royal marriage with Scotland dies out, we can move in on England. That's totally fine. I think each royal marriage increases your legitimacy by +10, which is fantastic. Take a look at all the attrition that we've suffered. It seems like it's all gone to us instead of Lithuania. So we can't really afford to do anything but reinforce our men in Revolt. So we're going to go through Dorpt into Revolt. Actually, let's go ahead and after we take Revolt, we are going to meet up in Liefland. And from there, we are going to try to take Riga. Or actually, we can let them bleed out in Riga. We will instead take Osel. We need to take all of these provinces. The Hansa is still at war with us. I wonder if we could afford to move our navy down to blockade them. Let's go and see if we can do that. Because I'm not sure if they have a bigger navy than us. I guess we can go ahead and check. They've got a relatively small navy. We should be fine. Sweden has occupied Osel. Fantastic news. I think now we can just let our allies do the work and regain our manpower. We're going to go back to Viborg. It's really kind of shitty of us as, you know, supposed ally, but it is what it is. We have 100% blockading power outside of the capital of the Hansa, which is Lübeck. And of course, the Hansa refers to the Hanseatic League. It's just that it's quite a bit easier for me to say Hansa. I think you guys would all agree. We have almost 100% war scored Livonian Order and Riga. It'll only be a matter of time before we are able to do so. Let's go ahead and see if our manpower is recovering now that we are in home territory. It looks like it is. That's good. We'll keep it there for now, as manpower is a very important thing for us to take into account. We are still improving our relationship with Poland, which is great. I think now, because we've already claimed, I believe, everything on Novgorod. Yeah, we did. It'll be time for us to start insulting Muscovy, trying to provoke a war. Let's go ahead and call them some salty dogs. There we go. Just like that, we've insulted Muscovy. We deserve it. I guess we can also fabricate some claims on Denmark, as we will need to take Gotland at some point in time. Maybe even Bornholm. Let's go ahead and do that. I would rather avoid taking anything on the archipelago for the moment, just because the amount of aggressive expansion, penalties I would get from taking Stalin, for example, where Copenhagen is, would be incredible, and we don't want to risk that. So instead, we will opt to do this. Because we have 100% blockading power out to the Hansa, eventually they should come around and sign peace with us. That's my hope anyways, as they take up quite a bit of war score here in this war. I think the Lithuanians have caught on that we've decided to, go back to the land of IKEA and regroup our manpower. They might not be too happy about that, as they are themselves suffering quite a bit in Estonian winter, or maybe that's Latvia, I don't know. Apologies if that is where you hail from, and I got the geography incorrect. So we are looking at a rebel uprising from Waldensian heretics, but as we will eventually switch to Protestantism, that's not too much of a worry for us. The Hansa, I think, have no chance of ever wanting to make peace with us, but we will keep our diplomat open just in case if we can fully annex the Livonian Order. Let's go ahead and see if we can do that. We can't, as they have the cost of their provinces is too great, but we can, however, take all of those provinces that we laid a claim on, which will be important later on. So let's go ahead and do so. That looks pretty good to me, as we're gonna need to start coring those provinces, and I can move my men onto those provinces as well. It will give us 19.4 aggressive expansion, but that's fine. We might potentially see a coalition form at some point too, but at the moment it's not a big deal. Instead of taking money, actually, if we could somehow align ourselves with Riga, that would be pretty nice, but we can't. So for the time being, I mean, this is basically what we wanted to do anyways. We're going to go ahead and do that, make some money off of it, and sign peace with the dirty Livonian Order. Let's go ahead and hit accept on that peace deal. Now, of course, we are going to suffer some pretty bad, well, not even bad overextension. It seems like it's pretty manageable, actually. But we need to annex this new territory. I'll put our army in Reval now that we control it. And really, this is going to be pretty easy. We're just going to be annexing Riga as well, or making it a vassal, actually. That might cut back on the cost of doing so. And if they had any cores in adjacent territory, it might make it more worth it, actually. But they don't. I'm a little bit torn on what I should do with them. I think I should probably go ahead and dissolve the alliance with Novgorod so Muscovy attacks them. But maybe I'll wait until after the war, which might make more sense in the long term. We are friendly with Poland, which means that we can get an alliance with them. That is fantastic news. Let's check the disputed succession. Bohemia still has that disputed succession. Let's go ahead and increase our relationship with them. And we will throw off our weaker allies like Scotland and Novgorod here pretty soon. We will take the hit to national order, or national unrest. That's fine, it doesn't last forever. While we core these Baltic provinces. We could take an advisor. I think I'm going to take back the national unrest advisor. It could be useful. And we've just gained another casus belli, as you guys can hear, against Denmark. But nothing really special. I'm not really interested in any of that territory. Instead, is Norway still in a personal union? They are, those slimy dogs. We are going to be fabricating a claim on Bohuslän, because this is, like, I guess, this is Swedish territory nowadays. I think it is. So let's go ahead and take it in the next war against Denmark, which will be pretty soon, once we can kind of consolidate our power over here in the Baltic. Of course, now that we are at peace with Livonian Order, I think our naval forcement has increased. It has, which is pretty cool. But we're still at war with the Hansa, which is just annoying. But Riga has a low enthusiasm for being in the war. Why don't we just go ahead and destroy their last ships? Might as well, right? We can even capture some ships on our way over there, perhaps. Could be pretty nice. Teutonic Order has been reduced. Danzig is independent. Ooh, the things I would do to an independent Danzig. We could just go ahead and take it. I mean, if we look at it, we can potentially offer it vassalation. Maybe not. Maybe we should just take it. But if we take it, that means Poland will basically never be allied with us, which is a shame. We have captured one ship. Looks like we captured a light ship, so that's great. Let's go ahead and heal it up. We're in a very, very good position. A great advisor has perished, unfortunately, but I don't even think they were in our service. Let's take a look at the naval forcement again. Let's go ahead and opt for one more light ship and 2 more galleys for total naval control, just like that. And once these units heal up, we can go ahead and send our regards to the Hanseatic League, whom we hope to take out of the conflict so we can take Riga for ourselves. Could be nice. Also, our manpower is steadily going up now that we have control of these cores here. Waldensian heretics, where are they? I have no idea. But once they rise up, we will take them out. It's no problem. I'm more worried about Livonian and Estonian partisans, I guess. We could increase autonomy, but that's not fun. So we're just going to whack them when they come up, just like whack-a-mole. We'll take care of them. Once our cores are constructed too, the happiness in those provinces should be a little bit higher. Let's invest in the marketplace. We'll go ahead and do that real quick. And now we're really going to need administrative tech so that we can eventually go down the administrative tree, which will reduce our coring costs, which will be really important later on in this Let's Play. Once we decide to be King of the North and attack east into Muscovy, release Perm, and the bad news is that I would have to release a province of Perm itself, as Muscovy might opt for those expansion ideas really soon. We don't know. Double check our truces with Denmark. 1465, that has not changed. We really need to start working on Novgorod pretty soon. So we might just want to dissolve our alliance. Well, we will once we take Poland as our ally. We have to wait for peace, I guess, for that time being. Riga will give us money. Decline. But honestly, at this point, I might just be considering letting them pay me off, as it doesn't seem the Hansa are at a point in time in which they will make peace with us. Let's go ahead and try again at blockading their territory. This might force their hand. If it doesn't, we'll make peace. Not the end of the world. Our truce with the TO has expired. That's cool. Don't really need anything from the TO just now, however. So, outside of Lolland, the Hansa are still going strong, which is shitty, but it is what it is. We got a lot of heretics popping up. Holy shit. Take a look at this. We got like 43 heretics that just put up. I don't even think there are 43,000 people in these areas in Sweden. How is this even possible? Well, you know what? It is what it is. Let's go ahead and hire some mercs, so we don't lose too many good guys. We'll hire 2 mercs. Wow, that's terrible. Well, it is what it is, I suppose. I'm just worried about the Estonian partisans that are about to pop up over here in Reval. Let's take a look at our war exhaustion. That's probably why we need to make peace, and we need to make it peace now. Let's go ahead and ask for... Let's go ahead and ask for war reparations and some monies. That's what it is. It is war exhaustion. We have made peace with them. It's fine. And besides that, we need to do some quick thinking with alliances and take back some of this territory that is ours by birthright. We need to wait until all of our men are regrouped, and now Poland is friendly with us. We are going to offer them a royal marriage and then ally them. I think this probably puts us over our diplomatic power. It doesn't. It's pretty nice. Let's go ahead and send them an alliance here on July the 2nd, and we will also ally Brandenburg. So we've accepted their alliance. That's fantastic. Now let's go ahead and ally Brandenburg. In a much better position now. Of course, we are currently over the diplomatic limit, but that's okay. Not the end of the world. We are going to immediately dissolve our alliance with Novgorod and take back some of this territory that is rightfully ours. So Novgorod's pissed off at us. Too sad, so sad. Now we are no longer over the diplomatic limit, I don't think. We still have military access with them, so we need to get rid of that. They're still friendly with us, though. Which is actually pretty cool. So, cancel military access, that's fine. We're going to take back the provinces first before we take out the heretics, just like that. So now we have another diplomat. I believe we can marry into Brandenburg. We're going to go ahead and do that right now by royal marrying them. That's great. So now we have a little bit of a diplomatic network. Of course, we're allied with Poland and Lithuania, which is fantastic news. Really, really good. In case if Lithuania decides to go under a personal union with Poland, we still have the alliance of Poland, so that is particularly important. Now I'm going to be fabricating on Riga so that we can just outright annex it the next time we are at war with them. Those Waldensian heretics are pretty strong, unfortunately, but we were able to take them out, which is great. We're going to split up over here, just like so. And once I get rid of the heretics, I will go ahead and end the episode. I guess I can't take this territory until I take this. Oh no, they're all the same territory. Derp, my bad. I thought they were split into two for some reason. So now we need to go over here outside Stockholm and take back our capital, which may or may not fall. We could also use a bit more men. We will hire 2 more mercenary units, which is good news. And unfortunately, the rebel faction of Estonia is going to rise up if we don't put it down militarily. We can afford to harsh treatment it twice while we take out these other rebels because we have more pressing issues at the moment. We can attack now, but we'd cross a river. Let's see if we attacked from Bergslosken, if it would be a little bit easier. I think it might be. If not, it isn't. It is what it is. We'll still cross a river. Fuck it. I don't want my capital to fall. That would be very, very bad news. So we opt to attack Stockholm, where we very closely won. Very, very close. So what I need to do now is disband the rebels, or the mercenaries, sorry, and reform them. Oops. We'll take 2 from each province. It's nice that we can afford to do so, for the time being anyways. This will give us 8, which is good. Immediately, we're going to send them all to Stockholm, where they'll meet up with our other army. And you would think that my advisor, who is trying to make national unrest go down in our empire, would, you know, have an effect on the rebel factions in Estonia and Livonia. Once we core the territory, it should be a bit easier. Then we can just raise the autonomy, and then I think that we will be at peace with them. So that's good. A new pope has been elected. Nobody cares. And I think now that I have a sizable enough army, we can go ahead and take out the rebel army outside of Blekinge. Great. So more Waldensian heretics have taken the cities. That's shitty. We'll go ahead and take them back right away. And our relationship with Bohemia has improved. Good. Let's improve our relationship with Lithuania. And perhaps improve our relationship with England, where we eventually hope to throw off Scotland as our ally and work on more useful allies. So immediately we're going to be taking back Småland, or at least trying to. I'm going to hire some mercenaries in Blekinge to take back our territory of Skane and Halland, I believe that's how you call it. But right now we need to work back on our forts and take back what we can, as it's pitiful that we have allowed these heretics to get this far in the first place. We will opt to take inflation. It's shitty, but it's better than losing a lot of administrative power when we opt to instead increase our stability. So, you know what? I think we should just take out the freaking rebels. This is ridiculous. I'm not sieging these provinces fast enough. We need to take them out before they take even more territories. It's just annoying at this point. So we're going to say screw you to the Waldensian heretics. Take them out completely and utterly. And disband... Well, we could keep our mercs, actually. We'll use them to siege the provinces so we can preserve our manpower. Just like so. We'll be using them kind of as a means in which to take back our provinces. Lithuania is being a bro and helping us take back some of our territory. It's great, great news. Since they are taking out Småland, we will take back Skane, or Skan. Just like that, we'll take back Halland as well, which is good. And we might have to increase the autonomy in Estonia and Livonia. It's pretty bad over there. Let's go ahead and send our units back that way just in case if we have to put down a rebellion. But honestly, at this point, I can't afford to have a rebellion. We're going to have to do another harsh treatment on them. I know it's shitty, but it is what it is. Once we lose war exhaustion, it should make this a bit easier. I don't know. Can't really afford to reduce it manually just yet. So our trade fleet can regroup with more units off of the western Baltic Sea, just like that. And we're going to go ahead and continue trade in the Baltic Sea, which will increase our trade power, which is great. And guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Sweden King of the North achievement run. Stay tuned for part 3. It'll be out really soon. And I understand that my cursor is not visible to you guys. It is really strange. I'm trying to work on it. I think it's the proprietary NVIDIA software. If it's a serious problem, let me know, guys, and I will do my hardest to rectify that issue. But again, thank you so much for watching part 2. Part 3 will be out soon. We will take back our territory and think about taking out Novgorod and stretching our muscle to the east. Stay tuned and see you guys soon.